People's Food Co-op is your neighborhood grocery store owned by 12,000 of your friends and neighbors. They serve high-quality foods, natural products, and support local farmers, featuring organic produce, meat and seafood, house-made bakery, deli, and more. You don't have to be an owner to shop. Learn more at www.pfc.coop. Prevention is the key to a healthy life. That's why Gunderson Health encourages you to learn about vaccines and how they can help you and your loved ones stay healthy. Vaccines protect against preventable diseases and viruses by boosting your body's defenses. Visit GundersonHealthFacts.com to learn more. Driftless Music Gardens presents People Fest, coming up August 10th through 11th, a music and camping extravaganza set in the beautiful rolling hills of the Driftless region of Wisconsin, the best mini fest in the whole Midwest. Learn more, buy tickets, and on-site camping at driftlessmusicgardens.com. We connect with Adam Boehm, going by the moniker Dreamfield 209. We chat bowed guitar, synths, and the ambient soundscapes, and get into all of his recent releases at Bandcamp. Listen to our podcast at lacrosselocal.com or your preferred podcast app. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is Lacrosse Local.
My name is Adam Boehm. I was born in West Allis, Wisconsin, May 10th, 1994. Basically, I was interested in video production for years, and that's what I went to school for at Western Technical College. And then I shifted more towards music when I was living in Japan back in 2018, teaching English as an intern in Nagasaki. I had friends in the program that were musicians. One of them played cello, another one played drums. And I told them that maybe I'd want to learn guitar one day. So one of my friends just convinced me to go to a music store in Nagasaki, buy an acoustic guitar. I didn't have a lot of money for a guitar at the time, so I bought the most affordable used one that they had, along with a book that was in Japanese, but I could speak some Japanese anyways. So it worked out, and I practiced chords and scales on the rooftop of the group house where we were living at the time, which was a really neat experience. That's how I got into guitar. Since I moved back to Wisconsin in 2019, I left that guitar at the group house for the next group of interns that were coming, but I've moved on to electric guitar more often since then.
So, I mean, I guess that path to, you said video editing, was that from interest in video games or movies, or where did that interest come from?
I think that interest came from being a storyteller and wanting to write books, make movies with my own plot. Since I was a little kid, even before I could write, I'd walk around our kitchen table at home and my parents would write down my story ideas for me. They were about maybe cartoon characters or stuff like that at the time. I was 3 or 4 years old, but I'd always have an interest in writing. When I was in high school, I wrote a 400 plus page book about me surviving the zombie apocalypse with my friend group at the time. And we actually I'd send them a chapter every week. It was like a serialized story, basically. And that was my main thing through senior year. I think storytelling has always been a big thing for me, even with naming my ambient songs as well.
I would think that, like you said, kind of the genre of music, sort of ambient sounds, kind of goes hand in hand with videography and visuals. Was that kind of the intention in some ways?
It was at one time, yeah. I actually was making travel videos while I was in Japan, and a lot of them, I'd have to find music online and make sure I had the rights to it. And I thought it would just be cool to be able to make the music myself for my own videos, do it 100% on my own. So I started learning guitar, music production, editing, all of that stuff. And now for video blogs, I do use my own music in the videos because I feel like I'm finally at that point where I'm comfortable doing everything for video projects.
So in terms of music, who are your influences? Who are you listening to maybe early years and even now?
Early years, it was a lot of punk rock, and artists like Novo Amor. He is a Welsh singer-songwriter,
Mm.
and his music uses open tunings on the guitar pretty often. So, for example, if you strum all six strings without fretting any notes, it'll make a full chord. So I actually discovered a couple of tunings that I like to play my guitar in that are different than the standard tuning. So that was one of my influences. Otherwise, punk rock, pop punk has been an influence of mine. And now that I'm doing some singer-songwriter stuff on the side as well, I'm leaning towards doing a little bit of that too. But Novo Amor is one of the bigger influences. Antoine Michaud is a guitar coach that I had, and he taught ambient guitar to me for 2 years as like a personal mentor.
Mm.
And I enjoy listening to his music quite a bit too. But even though I primarily make ambient music, I do listen to quite a bit.
So just checking out your Bandcamp, we got Scars and Tattoos released, I think, a few days ago. Sky
Yeah.
Painting released in April.
Mhm.
Moving Day in March. It looks like you got 13 releases kind of put out there on Bandcamp in the last year or two here.
Yeah, I
What's
started this project in November.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's been a quick succession of releases
Yes.
and those out there. So is this like a catalog you've always had, or is this stuff that you're just creating, pushing it out there, creating, and pushing it out?
I'm creating and pushing it out there. I started the project in November. I was releasing music under my own name beforehand, and then some of it was singer-songwriter too, but I wanted a project that was primarily ambient so people know what to expect when they get into it. So that project, Dreamfield 209, and the name is based off of the first two places where I lived with my wonderful fiance. So we have our own house now, but it was based off of our first two apartments. Yeah, so I started the project in November. I made 7 songs within a week's time. And then I thought, hey, maybe I can do another one a little bit faster after I got some feedback from my coach and everything like that. And I did it over the course of a weekend. And it's been fun to push myself and try and be creative while also testing limits on how quickly I can create stuff that I'm still happy with. Because right now I'm not doing music full time. I have a full-time job, but I would love to be able to make more than a cup of coffee every couple of months with music someday, which is another reason that I want to be able to do ambient and singer-songwriter live gigs within the next year from now.
Hmm.
One of the struggles is figuring out how to take my home studio sound into a live setting.
Sure.
So I'm experimenting with pedal board effects and everything like that, and just practicing my live performance as well.
Was there something too, just kind of knocking these out quickly and just releasing them and kind of moving on?
So I find myself not striving for complete perfection with every single project. My goal is to capture every moment that I'm currently living. So when I look back to Scars and Tattoos, for example, I think, hey, that's the first album that I made at our brand new home when we just moved out of our apartment. With Sky Painting, it was the same deal there. Like,
Mhm.
I can remember these sections of my life, and I don't want to take a full year or more to release something at this time because I would just be perfecting to the point where there would be diminishing returns on the projects themselves. They're only going to get so good, and I'll keep getting better if I keep producing music all the time.
Mhm. So what else is coming up for you? You kind of mentioned potentially bringing this to the stage. Is there something down the line
Mhm.
that you're pretty excited for?
So now I am working on a brand new singer-songwriter project. I'm actually writing an EP at the moment. It'll be under a different name than Dreamfield 209, but I want
Mm.
to include lots of the ambient things that I do as Dreamfield 209 in this project as well, such as playing guitar with a violin bow and having ambient effects in the music. But it's mainly something that I want to be able to take live, like both ambient and this new project that has gotten me excited over the last few weeks. It's not far enough along to really discuss artist name or anything like that, but it will be something that I'll mention as Dreamfield 209. Like, hey, if you like the ambient stuff, go check out the singer-songwriter project that I have under a different name.
It was nice to listen to some of this music, the past day or two. It just seems like you just have a ton out there. It also looks like on Bandcamp, you could pick up, what is it? You got, how many releases you have right now?
I think it's 13.
13?
I believe I have the full discography even on there at a discounted rate, but it is available on streaming platforms like Apple Music and Spotify. So for anyone who has a subscription, they can totally listen there, and that is another viable option.
If people want to follow along, maybe check out that singer-songwriter thing, or just follow around Dreamfield 209. What's the best avenue for people to go to?
So if they want to connect with me and chat, I do have a Dreamfield 209 Facebook page. And then in addition to that, my YouTube channel is Adam Bame Dreamfield 209. And other than that, that would be the social platforms to connect with me. If they just want to listen to the music, Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, all of those are options that are available.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.